Two dudes reviewing the news, pop culture, video games, movies, and shoes. Quincy and Justin with a nerdy forecast. So stay a while and welcome to the Ugly Mugs Podcast.
Welcome to the Mugs Podcast. I'm your host, Quincy.
And you're the host, Justin.
And we are sweating to death.
Yep.
We talked about how bad the heat was. Where do I have to sit for this? There we go. We talked about how bad the heat was getting out here. And it's not just here. It's in a few other places as well. But we have the misfortune of the AC seems to have stopped working in the office. The entire upstairs, actually. So every now and then I'm going to run out of the room screaming and start to, die in the hallway. And then I'll come back and finish the episode.
Yeah, I cut my hair just so I was like, it's going to get hotter and hotter, and I'm outside a lot, and it's not going to be a fun time all around. But we're going to make it work, because we're humans, we adapt.
We're troopers.
So
we're Adamses. Hi, Socks. How's the weather out there? Are you dying too, or is it just us?
It is a beautiful, I believe it was 38 degrees Fahrenheit over there.
Well, different parts of the world.
Yeah.
I think there's an equator line between us.
There is. And it's beautiful, probably. So what we're drinking today, I am drinking something I've only had, I think, once before.
Oh, I don't remember. There's been too many.
But even still, a nice Rooibos red tea. I know that they're supposed to be made with very little water, and they are just something to cleanse the palate for meals. So this is just something that has no caffeine, but good news, I have a Ghost Energy for backup, because I know that this is going to probably get knocked out right now. Rooibos also is helpful for making red dyes, reds or browns. So we're going to try this out.
So your insides will be redder than they ever were before.
Oh, that is strong. Holy shwabsta. Yeah. Whew. It's a very smoky type of tea. It does not leave anything behind, and yeah, I'm gonna go very slow on that. It is good. It is just very strong. I should add maybe another spoonful of sugar.
Well, it does help the medicine go down.
It does help it helps the Rooibos go down.
Mine's a Great Value brand for anyone not here. That means cheap-ass Walmart shit. K-Cup. Now, this is their extra caf, 1.75 times more caffeine, which my question is, why is it not just full-blown 2 times? It comes in K-Cup form. They may have it in another form, but I went with K-Cup. And actually, it doesn't say K-Cup anywhere on the package this whole time until I opened the box today. I was nervous as to what the hell I bought. But it seems how I own almost every kind of coffee maker. I was like, doesn't really matter.
Except for that weird domed one. The one that looks like a little bubble.
Oh, the percolator?
Yeah.
I don't have one here, but we have one in the camping gear at my mom's place.
Okay.
The only one I don't have is an actual drip machine. Not like a plug-in drip, but like the ones where you pour over drip.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
So I'm gonna take a sip of it. Hold on.
Yeah, you added your cream and sugar, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, Chris,
it's very weak. Oh, go ahead.
You said it's very weak?
It's a very weak flavor.
Oh, flavor. Okay. I was going to say they probably water it down just with the caffeine and other things.
I mean, I can't taste caffeine, so.
I can, and I don't like it.
But I have issues, so.
I have caffeine sensitive.
This would not be a regular. I brewed this on strong because I had a feeling the flavor was going to be a problem, so I brewed it on the strong setting, and it still came out kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
My sugar's there, my creamer's there, but the coffee part of it is just kind of bleh.
Bleh.
So this won't be a regular. You were going to ask me something, though.
I was like, does it compare to like Death Wish, which is another 2 to 3 times caffeine?
I even kind of felt Death Wish was like
baby.
Not baby, but when I had it, it wasn't the punch in the mouth I expected.
Really? I mean, I don't know. That's Lauren's favorite, was it?
What, Death Wish?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she likes it. It's not her favorite.
Oh.
Her go-to for K-Cups would be the caramel Starbucks one.
Oh.
My go-to is just the classic donut shop. And then when it comes to if I'm just making coffee in the coffee pot and I'm not getting fancy, it's Folgers. But if I'm gonna get a little fancier and I want to pull out anything fun, Jamaican Blue's not bad. Panama Coffee's pretty good. Or what I just got 2 heaping bags of, and I am gonna take my sweet time going through it. The Huckleberry from Montana.
Yep.
Those are all pretty good.
I forgot that was in my bag, and I just gave it to her before I left. So
hopefully she enjoys it.
Hopefully she does enjoy it. So with that being said and done, let's roll over. Boop. Look at that instant transition. Last week's movies, Marathon Man and Midnight Cowboy, both with Dennis Hoffman. And both are very good movies in their own right. Marathon Man, I felt was very all over the place with how the suspense was, because it doesn't really tell you it's a suspense movie until maybe 25, 30 minutes into the movie.
There's a lot of time at the beginning spent to set up the characters and set up like what's going on with one of the characters so we can get to the suspense stuff. I think it could have been jointed a little bit better.
Yeah, because then when he gets into the car with who you think is his friend, it kind of kerfuddles, and he pretty much has to expose everything through the actual exposition and say, do you know who this is? Yeah, that I know that person. And okay, do you know who this person? Yeah, that's my father. He was this, that, and he was a broker who worked with diamonds and all this, and all the exposition I wasn't really prepared for at that time. I kind of backed out of it a little.
I can tell you backed out of it because his father wasn't a broker who worked with diamonds, but I get your point.
Yeah. What was he? Just a key holder for that safety deposit box?
No, it had nothing to do with his father at all. The guy at the beginning is the brother of the drilling guy.
Okay.
The father thing is a completely different thing.
Okay.
So now the guy that wrote this also was a novelist, and he actually wrote the novel that this is based off of, and he wrote the screenplay as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some of his other works, though, when it comes to screenplays, would be Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Stepford Wives. Right before this, he did All the President's Men. He would go on to do The Princess Bride, which he also wrote the book for, which is very different.
Yes.
He wrote the screenplay for Misery.
Oh, the guy who was in bed and had his legs all messed up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chaplin. The movie Maverick, not the TV show.
Gotcha.
And that's just some of them. He's done plenty of The General's Daughter or Dreamcatcher. And I'm wondering if the disjointedness at the beginning comes from him. He's not new to writing screenplays. He had written several screenplays before.
But the
good
first
screenplays.
Thriller?
But, All the President's Men's pretty interesting, kind of thriller-esque. I'm wondering if he had troubles converting his novel. Like, if he had troubles figuring out what was important and wasn't when doing it on screen. And maybe that made the beginning so weird.
Maybe. I don't know. The second movie, it encapsulated me a little bit more, even though it was a little more disjointed. I don't know. Marathon Man wasn't a big hit for me.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the ratings for that. 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, 64% on Metacritic, and 84% through Google users. I'm going to kind of throw this with the 64 on the Metacritic. I don't know. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it's even 81% with audience. And I don't know.
I like it. The suspense parts is what, and you can see it in the images. And that's what really got people.
Like that scene was really good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take away anything from it.
I think that's why people love this movie the way they do.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, as Roger Ebert said, even though he gave it a fresh rating, a 3 out of 4, he even says, if holes in plots bother you, Marathon Man will be maddening. But as well-crafted escapist entertainment as a diabolical thriller, this movie works with relentless skill. I kind of agree with it to a bit, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I kind of zoned it out and kind of blocked it away, especially when the, what was he, teacher to Hoffman's character?
What are you talking about?
The dude who dies.
His brother.
It was his brother,
Doc?
Doc.
The guy from Jaws?
Yes.
The guy that plays Frank Castle's dad
Yes.
in The Punisher. It's his brother.
It's his brother? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Being called Doc, I thought it was like Professor.
No, it's his name.
Oh, okay. Doc Holliday. Okay, I get you. That's fine and fair then. Okay.
No, I'm just making sure, like, the reason why I was like Jaws and this, because I'm making sure we're thinking the same guy.
character? Okay,
Yeah, that guy? Yeah, no, that's his brother.
Okay. But that whole scene after he dies, when he gets interrogated and he gets frustrated with everyone just asking him questions because they're in on something that he doesn't know about.
Yeah.
And he's, even to the very end of the movie, he doesn't know very much about, and he doesn't really care at that point. Mm-hmm. Which, I get it, I do, but Go ahead.
I think the way it should have gone down.
Okay.
Show us all of Doc's espionage shit that we got. Because that's kind of thriller-esque. It's interesting. Then show us Doc coming to see his brother, and that's when you should introduce Hoffman and you should introduce the marathon aspects of him and whatnot. I think they spent too much time jumping back and forth between the two of them and too much time early on the marathon part. And then they had the girl and whatnot, and that was interesting, but I also feel it was a little disjointed as well.
Yes.
So I feel like they should have just really the problem was they do too much to build up to the thriller. Now, the reality is it should have been a thriller from the start.
Yes.
So I think that's how they're going to fix it. I enjoy the movie. That was probably the second time I watched it this month when I watched it with you. Not my first time watching it, just in recent time. I'll probably put it in the high 70s, low 80s.
All right.
I mean, it is not by far, a 90s 100 movie for me. It is an Oscar nominee film. Best Supporting Actor, which I do believe was for the bad guy.
Oh, good.
Okay, well, he did act his ass off.
Strauss, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But, I liked it. I liked it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I would need to watch it maybe one or two more times to fully understand the quote-unquote thriller aspect of it.
Have you ever seen Mulholland Drive?
No.
Okay. That is one that everyone says you will not understand the first time you watch. Everyone loves it. It's got great reviews. It's weird.
Okay.
But it's one of those ones where everyone says you will not understand it the first time you watch it.
Okie doke.
That one sits in 83. So.
And then a couple of years prior to that is Midnight Cowboy with Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. And boy, was this an interesting movie. It started off a little
Bubbly,
a little ritzy, a little glamorous, and then it devolved very quickly. And then as the devolution went down, you realize this is stuff that happened at about that time. People were uncomfortable. People said, "Hey, you exist to be made fun of. You exist to get high. You exist to get drunk. You exist to just scam people out of their money, sleep around, that kind of thing." And it was a very realist movie. It didn't skirt away from a lot of things.
It also tackled some pretty heavy things for its time.
Yeah.
Touched on a lot about gay culture and hiding it and people's feelings towards it and stuff like that, which was interesting. It touched a lot on the drug scene. It also touched a lot on like the homeless scene and how people are treated for or reacted to, I guess you could say, for in Hoffman's character's case, having a disability. They do leave it a little obscure. You kind of have to ask around, but the answer's out there as to what happens with Hoffman's character. It's actually one of the people also ask things on Google, and it's pneumonia. Do you think that Joe Buck's life's going to be better now that he's in Miami?
I mean, yeah. He already knows how the world works, even through a like a light criminal, a petty criminal way of thinking. Plus Florida's a lot better than New York.
Okay, so here's another question.
Yes.
Do you think he's still a petty criminal by the end of the film, or do you think he is full-blown...
Cleaned up and trying to do better?
No, I'm saying worse.
Oh.
Did he or did he not kill the guy with the phone?
Oh.
I think he killed him.
I think he killed him.
So, this one has a famous line in it, and it was one of those things when I was like, we're going to watch Midnight Cowboy. I was like, I can't tell you what movie this is. I can't tell you anything about it because it's got such a famous line in it that everyone thinks they've seen it without having actually seen it. And you've got Dustin and you've got Voight walking across the street, and a taxi cab almost hits him.
That's a legit cab almost hitting him, correct?
Yes, because they couldn't pay to shut down a street on New York City because that's fucking ungodly expensive. And so they were doing the scene, and the taxi cab driver wasn't fucking paying attention and almost hit him. And so he starts yelling, "I'm walking here." He admits he almost yelled, "I'm acting here." But he yells, "I'm walking here," and they kept it in the movie. So you talk about that scene, and everyone immediately thinks, "Oh, hey, I know that movie. I've seen that movie," just because that scene is everywhere.
That scene's everywhere.
Everyone knows that scene. It's like the Marilyn Monroe dress thing. What movie is it from?
I've seen the scene, but no,
Yeah,
I don't. It's the Mandela effect.
If I'm like, we're gonna watch this Monroe movie with the dressing, you're like, oh yeah, I know that,
but I've never seen it.
You've never actually seen the movie.
No, it's like Casablanca. I've never seen it up until you guys showed me it, but I have seen that one scene of "Here's looking at you, kid," that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then when I finally seen it, I'm like, okay, it all makes sense. Okay. But that scene does come off not very strange, but very authentic.
Yeah, because it is authentic.
I mean, in the world of acting, you have very little ad-lib, and with what little is taken away from it, you see the fine gray line, and that fine gray line getting crossed by someone outside of the studio doing something that causes the reaction. It's very rare. Let's look over at the ratings. 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 85% from Google users. Nothing else. There's usually 3 up here, but there's only 2 today. Let's go see what audience thinks of it on Rotten Tomatoes. It is 88, but again, they've matched on both movies. 88% on audience. I would throw this on high 80s. It was a very good, not necessarily a wholesome movie, but it was a movie.
Yeah, it's definitely on the darker end of things. Don't go in for a feel-good movie because you ain't fucking getting that.
No.
In fact, this movie ends, and you kind of have one of those moments of like,
the realism.
well, shit. Now I'm sad.
And
It's kind of like the end scene of The Graduate, which is a completely accident. Have you seen The Graduate?
I think a long time ago.
That's him again.
Yeah.
And that's the one with Mrs. Robinson.
I think so, yes.
Okay. So the end scene is him and Robinson's daughter sitting on the back of the bus, and they start laughing because they're happy. She ran away from her wedding, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Laugh, 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 and then it's just like the laughter dies, and it's just them kind of just
sitting there.
And it's like, and it's a powerful scene. The reality is they thought the filming was done, and so they stopped laughing, and they just sat there, and the director was still rolling, and then went, "This is better than them laughing. Like, this is a better ending," and put it in there. And, it's one of those ones of like, it's an impactful ending. This one's not an impactful ending, and it leaves you feeling a certain way afterwards.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable. Like I'm not gonna say it's understandable, but it is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that it could happen.
Very much so. I put this one in the 80s. I don't know, maybe mid 80s, 85.
Yeah, I'd be about there too.
The big problem I have is that because it is a downer, I really just don't have the ability to go, I'm going to watch Midnight Cowboy. I can do it to show other people. If I'm flipping through channels, I might stop and watch a couple scenes. But because it's a downer, I've never got that moment of, hey, let's watch Midnight Cowboy tonight.
No.
And there's a few movies like that where it's like, they're amazing movies, but I don't want to be down tonight.
Yeah,
So
no.
I'm not going to watch them.
Like,
So.
I actually had that kind of feeling where I don't usually go out of my way to watch something that would make me feel not necessarily depressed, but something that would bring in the sadness. And I popped on episode, I think like 9 or 10 of Violet Evergarden, and I was just like, damn, people have it rough.
It's like Lauren wants to eventually do a Studio Ghibli night. She wants to get a Grave of the Fireflies, and I see your reaction every time I say it. I see her reaction every time, and I'm like, yes, this sounds fun.
It's similar to, it is a contrast that is similar to Midnight Cowboy from start to finish. It is something that is real. It is uncomfortable, but in that way that it could happen. Or it would strike that. It has happened.
Gotcha.
It's just with a little more mythicism.
Now what I find interesting is, by the way, this is the same director.
Yes.
Now what I find interesting is that, with a movie like Midnight Cowboy, it's 88% fresh. People love it, despite it being,
what it is.
What it is. And there's other movies where I'll watch them, like The General's Daughter. It's an okay movie. It's an enjoyable movie to an extent. It deals with some really real tough shit. The book's far better.
Mm-hmm.
The sequel to the book is, but the book is far better. They've got some weird moments with Travolta in the movie and whatnot, but it's one of those ones where it's like everyone ripped it apart for being dark and brooding and whatnot. And I'm like, how is one movie praised for that while another movie is torn down for it?
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing.
Yeah. And then this week's movies.
So we had talked about it just in passing, I think last week, when we were talking about the previous week's movies. And we actually had a fan reaction to it. And so I was like, screw it, we're going to do it. Also because the season for The Last Drive-In just ended on Friday. So, also why not do a Last Drive-In from this current season? We're going to do Ginger Snaps. We're going to do the Joe Bob Briggs Last Drive-In version of Ginger Snaps, which is just the movie, but with Joe Bob talking during it every now and then. And then we're going to do the sequel, which none of us have seen. Me, you, Lauren, none of us have ever seen the sequel to Ginger Snaps. So we're going to watch that afterwards.
Can I get like a quick synopsis of that?
Canadian werewolf movie.
All right, we're good with it. Let's go.
Now, when I say Canadian werewolf movie, that means it was filmed in Canada by Canadians with Canadian actors, but it's not like they're going... It's not like Things, where they straight up have a line that says the blood is flowing like maple syrup. It's not that at all.
It's not Things, yes.
It's just they were Canadians that made
they do. You might hear a "Don't you know," but that's about it.
The Saris are definitely Souris.
Yeah, they're Souris.
Especially Ginger's sister. There's a lot of Souris from her.
Okay.
I could spout off fact after fact about the movie to you, but the reality is we're going to watch the Joe Bob one, and he's going to say everything I'm going to say. So
okay, yeah.
It'll be interesting for you tonight.
Okie doke.
I definitely enjoy the movie. Lauren enjoys the movie. It didn't do well, but it has since gained the respect it deserves. It just didn't. Yeah, kind of. Okay. It just didn't do well financially.
Okay.
So
I
also had a really rough time that I do believe was coming out right around Columbine, and it's about high schoolers. So
okay. So
it had a bad timing.
Yeah. Okay. It was like that. There was a popular movie that came out when Aladdin came out, and it's starting to get its what was it? About when Treasure Planet came out, I believe it was.
You have never seen that?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Put that on the fucking list for like animated.
It's on Disney Plus, and Lauren keeps going. We need to watch it. We need to watch it because you've never seen it. And I'm like, okay, but we need to watch Monsters Inc. because you've never seen that. So
okay,
yeah,
for you guys because I've seen both of those and I like both of them.
I mean, fuck, I own Monsters Inc. on DVD.
Yeah, let's do that.
But no, so Treasure Planet was the one you were saying though. That one had like a rough release or something.
It had like a release with another Disney movie. I don't.
And the other Disney movie basically stomped on it.
Yeah, and it was like, why?
I had a weird realization flipping through Disney Plus the other day.
Same thing with Titan AE.
I remember the poster Titan AE, but that's all I remember.
I think it was Brad Pitt. It was either Brad Pitt or Matt Damon. One of the two with the voice actor. I'm going to look this up real quick.
But I'm flipping through Disney Plus the other day, and I had a weird realization.
Okay.
So Disney bought Fox and has their catalog, right?
Okay. Oh, and Drew Barrymore. And Nathan Lane.
Disney and Bill Pullman, who you skipped, and John Leguizamo.
Yes.
Disney now owns Ice Age. Because it was Fox, and they've actually started to put some of them on Disney Plus.
I didn't know it was Fox, but that's very interesting. Wow, they are going to become a powerhouse.
I mean, they already are.
I mean, more.
So right now the parks are reopened and the lines are like
Astronomical.
down the street and like wrapping around Disneyland to get into the park. People are dying to go back. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want a vacation too, especially anywhere that is not this
Here.
fucking temperature.
And
I mean a downward temperature, not an upward. I don't want to get hotter.
And even if it's the same temperature, you're at least at Disneyland where there's a lot of shade, there's a lot of misters, there's a lot of fun rides that can keep you nice and cool.
I like Disney in the winter.
I liked it in the winter, especially with that light drizzle. Sure, it was gloomy skies, but it was a beautiful day.
I won't put out the date when we like to go because it's dead, and I don't want that getting out there and ruining it. But I have the perfect week to go to Disney because everything is open, but no one is there.
Okay.
We'll talk off air about it.
Okay.
I'm not putting it out there because I don't trust the internet not to go, he said this is when to go, and
Yeah.
then they just fucking ruin my vacation.
Yes.
But no, I definitely get wanting a vacation. Sorry.
It's okay.
But I'm very much in the mindset of I am not dealing with that many people. And it's not a COVID thing. It's not none of that. It's just that is not a vacation to me.
I also don't. I'm an introvert. I don't like people as it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad enough I work retail.
I mean, you just got back from vacation, and you spent your vacation
At
being home alone, relaxing, doing things you enjoy, because the last thing you want to do was go out and fucking deal with people.
I mean, as we had talked about it, I said, if you have anything that's on your plate that you want to go and do, just invite me. I don't want to go out of my way to be like, hey, you guys want to go do something?
I've been insanely fucking busy with the move and everything that I kind of felt bad because the other day I thought I was like, oh, his vacation ends in 2 days and we haven't done anything together. And then I was like, oh, hey, I have to go work for the next 6 hours.
Yeah,
you know?
if we were both sure, if you were busy, I'm not gonna go being like, hey, you want to do something?
But it's not like, hey, you went vacation time. Let me go down to the strip.
No.
That sounds fucking miserable. Not just because it's 113 degrees outside, but because it's a sea of people.
I mean, I had someone come in from California that I could have possibly popped up if I had a little bit more warning, but I didn't know anything about them popping in up until maybe 2 days prior, and I was like, well, I gotta handle something else, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I had a surprise visit and got to spend some time with a friend that came to town over the last week. And the couple of things we did with them that wasn't them coming over here and just hanging out was like we went to like a coffee house and stuff like that. You know, we went to places they wanted to visit because they haven't been here because they used to live here and they haven't been here in a while. But at no point was it like, hey, let's go to this casino or hey, let's go to this other busy ass place or that other busy ass place. It was not what anybody wanted to do with their vacation. So the Disneyland thing right now, I'm like, I want a vacation, but that sounds fucking miserable.
Yeah.
I'll go camping or something.
All right. Last week we kind of ended off about a little over halfway with E3. E3 kind of finished up, and I grabbed a couple more trailers from both the Nintendo Direct and a few things that I kind of left out from last week. Mm-hmm. So, bloop. So, first things first, with the...
Big fight.
Yeah.
That looks so much better on the stream when we do that. I wish there was a way to get YouTube to do that with as soon as we go to a video.
Yeah. I mean, I'll worry about that
We'll
later.
talk about it later.
But very first thing that went by was this. And everyone was watching this and they were like, oh, Jesus. And then they see this and they're like, no way. They're not going to introduce... And then they see them get dumped off. And they're like, no. So Kazuya is in Smash. And his moveset is a good one, and apparently it's just like Terry and Ryu, where if you actually do the inputs, it does a little bit better. So
I refuse to play this until they give me his skin from the 2000 whatever it was movie. 2009? I'm joking.
I mean, he's got the devil form in him, so yeah, why not? That's as close as you're going to get. You can do the 10-hit combo. He's throwing everybody in there, and then at the end of the trailer, he throws Kirby on in, and Kirby flies behind. He's not going to let... Sakurai is not going to let himself get rid of his favorite, most beloved creation. So, it's good to have that around. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Maybe, I don't know.
I haven't played a Kirby game since the Game Boy Advance. I also just dated myself.
Yeah, I also, because I think mine was Amazing Mirror.
No, the Penguin Bastard was back on whichever one I played.
Boop. So the next one after that, shortly after that, I'm gonna kind of gloss over the WarioWare just because it's another WarioWare game. It's a co-op one. It's basically Ready Set Draw, the little test demo for the Switch, the one that everyone was like, you got to do something quicker than the other person with their individual Joy-Con. Yeah, but it's fine. Cruisin' World or Cruisin' USA, a racing game.
Blast is the name.
Cruisin' Blast is this one.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought this whole time you were trying to guess the name of this. I'm like, it's
Nope.
Blast.
Nope. It went Cruisin' USA, Cruisin' World, and then there was a Cruisin' something or else. And I'm happy to see that we're getting an updated game for the Switch. It doesn't look great by any way, shape, or form, but I'm not mad at it.
I also think that it's one of those things of it doesn't have to look great for you to just drive
Have
these
fun.
absolutely insane vehicles.
Here, hold on. Where is it? Oh, no. A little bit. There we go. Oh,
Was that a freaking shark with a freaking laser beam on its freaking head?
that was a frickin' hammerhead shark with a laser beam on its frickin' forehead.
Nice.
And a unicorn. And a
Yeah.
tank.
The shark or the triceratops. Those we might get to go to go-tos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's gonna be an old style arcade racing game with very fun things as usual. Bubbly art style. I'm here for it. I'm always here for it.
Absolute absurd jumps.
Yeah, absolute absurd jumps. The next one I would like to see, if I do happen to get this and it plays well, the next one I want to see is San Francisco Rush 2047. That one had just the best overall driving. It had the best, like, as you take a jump, you can pull out like these little glider wings and just curve in the air, and it felt a lot better. So I don't know. I'll think about maybe picking it up. I'm sure it's not going to be too expensive on the Switch. It doesn't have a release date, I don't believe. I think it just said that it's coming soon.
Yeah, no, and this is directly from Nintendo, so.
Yeah. Kind of stinks. Another one, No More Heroes 3. We got a trailer for it 2 years ago.
We get that, like, teaser thing.
That major teaser that was very
weird.
It was very confusing about an alien that grew up.
Okay, I don't know why it jumped.
It's fine. But an alien that was raised by a young lad, and then the alien goes back to their planet, and when they come back 20 years later, they come back with a group and say, we'll take over this planet. You know, and it had such a weird feel, and then at the very end it says, what? No, that can't be right. And then you got the Akira slide with Travis Touchdown on it and goes, that's a load of bullshit. And then the No More Heroes logo pops up, and it was like, all that for the worst teaser we've ever seen? Okay. I'm joking. I love No More Heroes. I love Sakurai. Sakurai's an amazing... Or not Sakurai, Swery.
I've never played any of the games. I know nothing about them. I am completely out of anything. I have no impressions on it. So watching that teaser was me going, what the fuck am I looking at?
Okay. So let me go ahead and paint this picture. Okay. So the very first game is a Wii exclusive because it needed motion controls.
Okay.
You would swing your sword, you know, the way you move it is very interesting. You hold down the B button and you have to go like this.
Nope.
You have to go like this to charge up your sword.
It's a fucking shake weight.
And believe it or not, Travis Touchdown in game does this.
Can you be doing this on Twitch?
It's suggestive. It's not actual. But
actually, it's invisible, so it is. No.
But it was crude. It was rude. It was I think the second M-rated Wii game that got released. So it was kind of a step out of the weird direction for Nintendo to be like, hey, here's an M-rated game. Have fun.
You say an M-rated game just reminded me of one of the things that I've always found funny. You get these people. We're not going to get political or anything. I'm just going to touch on this real quick. You get these people that, say no more violent video games, censor video games, put an end to the shooters and GTA and all that because of what it's doing to children, yada yada. But the reality is, there's a rating system for a reason.
Right.
I'm not going to go and buy a rated M game that has you pantomiming whacking off for a child. Just like I'm not going to go and buy an R-rated or an X-rated movie for a child.
Correct.
You know, the rating system's there for a reason.
Yeah, but people blatantly ignore it because their child hears about it and they're like, I want that. And of course, a parent would be like, I have no general context of this, so I'm just going to do it.
I wasn't allowed to have GTA for the longest time. Hell, my first shooter other than GoldenEye took a really long time to happen.
I started off with Doom. Doom 2.
I think everybody played Doom.
Yeah, Doom 2, and then Final Doom, and then Quake.
But there was also a big difference between shooting demons and shooting people.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So.
And then you got Quake, and then Blood. Blood's got cultists. Where do you draw the line as far as shooting people?
I mean, personally, I don't draw the line at all.
Because fake and all that,
saying,
real and all that. Yeah.
You know how parents might look at it.
You're right.
Back to No More Heroes 3 being absolutely absurd.
Oh, it is.
From what I understand, the aliens have different colored blood.
Yeah, and you of course have Travis Touchdown's room, which has gotten updated. Yeah, and he is going to. Everyone thought it was a stripper pole when they first saw his room. It was a stripper pole. But no, it's a evacuation one,
like a fireman's
pole to get him out of there.
That's not nearly as fun.
No, he's got costumes. You can get his old costumes. The newer one from the No More Heroes one for the 3DS. You can play with your cat, make your cat skinny again. Because every time your cat has to go on a diet. There's actually, to get the true ending in No More Heroes 1, you actually have to get your cat down to a specific weight.
Aw.
So it is...
No more Garfield.
Yeah. What else?
Orange gonna want this game just because of this.
Yeah, there's rhythm games that will power you up. This is your skill tree, if I'm not mistaken. I like the fact that it's...
Rainbow?
No.
Arcade buttons?
Arcade buttons. Thank you.
How do you feel when they take a game, this one's obviously a bit more on the absurd side, but when they take a more serious action thriller type of game, and then they put in a goofy thing?
I mean, they did that with Resident Evil back in the day, but it was one of those, you beat the whole serious bit, you get the funny. With Tofu and Hunk.
But I'm talking for instance, Sleeping Dogs. Great game, serious game.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorites. But then you've got the karaoke mini game.
Okay, well then I guess
that
would coincide.
Absurd and crazy, but and fun it is.
I guess it kind of coincides with Yakuza. Yakuza, you get the major seriousness, and then all of a sudden you can go dame 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 yo dame.
But at the same time, that one peppers in the funny a little bit more because, for instance, Zero diving in through a window while guys are taking a piss in the urinal and watching them panic.
Yeah, but then again, it's also supposed to be known that he is a mixed martial artist before he even joins the Yakuza, so it's...
I like it. I like a break in the tension, and I like when they're, we're going to force just the first one on you so that you know it's a thing. After that, it's purely your choice. So, I'm tired of fighting, gangsters for the last half an hour. Let me go sing some fucking terrible karaoke.
Or do a weird side quest that has you talking to a dominatrix in a children's playground while in front of children.
Yeah. Yakuza games really are weird.
Yeah.
So you think you're going to be getting No More Heroes 3?
Probably, more than likely. It looks good. It's on the Switch, so yeah, why not?
That is a hell of a cherry blossom tree.
Yeah. He is a weeb. He is a huge fucking weeb. In No More Heroes 1, there is a girl that has colored hair, and he's like, if I didn't have to kill you, I would love to date you. And then she turns him down, and he goes, well, that sucks. Then looks like I go back to the first option.
Wait, what color hair?
I think it was bright pink.
Okay, well, she could have been a main character.
And he kills her because it's to be the world's best hitman. That is the first one.
Looking through the sea of black and brown hair for the person with the color hair, so we know who the main character is.
Yeah, I know, right? Actually, all of the hitmen in the first game is very vibrant. They all have their very unique body. Look at this. This is weird. And then your cat in this one talks to you. I don't know. I
don't
like it.
the shading in it.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's not cell shading. There's another word for it. It's like
rough.
It is very. They wanted to have a little bit of comic book style because of the whole. When you do your special moves, it adds that pixelation on front, and then it's the harsh colors. I'm here for it. I'm probably gonna get it. Hopefully, it's not $60, but I can only ask. So we got a teaser, another teaser for a Metroid game.
Well,
we
got
thought
the
it was
teaser, and then we got full-blown gameplay.
right. And what was weird about this was it didn't say Prime, and I was like, okay, so we're not getting another first person. And then I saw this, and I was like, well, maybe we are.
So what I was seeing watching the gameplay is it is side-scrolling.
It is side scrolling.
So this is Metroid 5, by the way.
No, Metroid Dread.
It's Metroid 5, Metroid Dread. It starts out the trailer calling it Metroid 5.
Fair enough.
This guy apparently you have to run from, like that annoying ass alien.
I forget what they call him. I think this is just Dread. I think that is Dread.
Maybe. So you say like that annoying ass alien in Dead Space 2. So it's side scroller like this, but what I was seeing watching the gameplay and listening to the people talk about the game, one of the things they're doing is if you like. There's things like this where it's like they fucked up and they got caught, so it immediately went into the cutscene. But if you do like a dodge and a hit right, it kind of does almost a third person cutscene reaction type of thing for like the boss battles. But even a little bit for that one, because you saw they hit it and they came in for the shot and zoomed in a bit. But there was like a boss battle they were showing where it's like they like dodged something with her. And she like slapped it away and shot. And this is in the middle of the battle. That's what I was seeing and gathering. I mean, you know, we'll know more when we get our hands on it because I'm sure one of us will buy this. There's also different suit aspects. Like we just saw her do a stealth thing a second ago, so that she couldn't be seen by douchebag robot.
Douchebag robot.
Oh,
that's so nice.
Are you a decent Metroid fan?
I only played Metroid Prime 1 as far as the Primes, but I've played Metroid, Super Metroid, and Fusion on the Game Boy Advance, but I don't recall very much of the DS or Prime.
How is the Switch with GameCube games? Like, are they available? Because I have the U, and it was one of those things where it's like they touched on like every console and kind of danced around the Game Boy games. Like they really didn't want to bring the Game Boy games to the Switch for some reason. Not Switch, the U for some reason. And so it's like, you know, one of those things of like, I want to play Prime, I want to play Mario Sunshine, I want to play Luigi's Mansion, but I can't.
I mean, I can tell you this list here, there's only 2 of them that are actually on the Switch. One is Wind Waker HD, and the other one is Super Mario Sunshine for their 35-year anniversary.
So
collection.
they haven't brought Prime to the Switch.
As far as I can recall. So when it says video games, GameCube, Nintendo Switch, this list is not accurate. I think Twilight Princess got moved over too, but I'm not 100% on that one either.
Why? That bothers me.
I would love to play Eternal Darkness again.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. That bugs me. I don't understand Nintendo's we don't want to put GameCube games on our new system thing. You know, they've repeatedly sold us the NES games. They sold us the NES games on the NES. Then they resold them to us on the Super Nintendo. Then they resold them to us on the 64. And then in some cases, they resold them to us on the GameCube. And then they resold them to us on the Wii and the Wii U. And now they've got them through the membership thing on the Switch. But they don't want to touch the GameCube games. And they've done it with the Super Nintendo. They've done it with the N64. They've done it with the Game Boy Advance. They put Game Boy Advance games on the Switch.
Yes. Well, with re-rendering and all that, yeah.
But no...
no. Get that out of here.
GameCube games. And I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Or very few GameCube games.
Very, very few. Very few. I think just the 2, as far as I can tell.
It's like, I love Luigi's Mansion. I don't own a GameCube anymore. I own Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube, but do not own a GameCube.
Yeah.
And I would love to go back through and finish it.
I would love nothing more than to play all the old GameCube games that, I mean, I would just, like I was just saying, Eternal Darkness would be a good one to go through. Paper Mario, I only played the first one. I wouldn't mind playing Thousand Year Door. I heard that was okay.
I didn't play any of the Paper Mario. I just remember the spider and how creepy it was.
F-Zero GX, I'm always a fan of F-Zero. Skies of Arcadia is good, but I think I had it for Dreamcast, and I was cool with it.
This isn't even the correct list for GameCube games.
Some is. Resident Evil 0 we can already get on other things.
Yeah.
I mean, Metroid Trilogy.
Yeah, the Prime Trilogy,
would
but that was
be
2009. That was still in the era of... By that point was the era of what? The Wii?
Going into Wii, I think you probably could get it on the Wii.
I mean...
Jesus.
Yeah, Wii. Okay, it's $7,500 my ass.
It's because it's still sealed. But yeah,
digital copyright there for the Wii U from GameStop. So still, like, I can get on the Wii U. That's great, which I have.
Switch,
but not the Switch. Which I don't have the Switch, so it doesn't bother me. But
yeah, if I actually wanted to dig into them, yeah, it would be a hard thing for me. Crystal Chronicles moved over, so I think Crystal Chronicles moved over to Switch now.
Well, with the whole pixelation
Switch,
thing they're going to be doing anyways, it won't matter. They're doing the whole Final Fantasy pixelation thing. I don't know if this falls in it, but I would assume they're going to milk that for everything they can.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. More than likely. I don't know. I just really want to play a lot of old games and not have to go sweating just to get my hands on them.
Well, click on Prime 2 right there. Echoes. Far right.
Oh, I see it.
And scroll down. Let's see what the platforms say.
GameCube Wii.
Yeah. Because it's not counting it in the trilogy pack. And then, for instance, they had Animal Crossing up there. I've never played any of the Animal Crossing games.
Yeah.
So if I want to play Animal Crossing today, I'd have to start with New Horizon. Which story-wise wouldn't matter, but...
I mean, if you had a 3DS, you can get New Leaf.
Okay, yeah, we have a 3DS, so I could get New Leaf.
Yeah.
But unless it came out on the Wii or the Wii U, I can't touch it, or the Nintendo or the N64.
Right. But I mean, what really bothers me about Animal Crossing for the N64, it's either the N64 or the GameCube version. I want to say it's the GameCube version now, thinking about it. No, I don't think Animal Crossing was for the N64.
So probably for the GameCube. That's
the GameCube. Is that you can get through gifting your other villagers, you can get NES games.
Mm-hmm.
And you can play all those NES games. They are full NES ROMs in Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
They stopped after the first game.
Well, yeah, because they realized, why are we going to give these for free when we could charge for them?
Yeah. It's a bummer, that's all. But enough of that. I like Nintendo, but not... They're doing better.
They have this weird thing with their backlog.
Yes. And they're not going to bring some of it up. I mean, look at what they're doing here. They're doing good work with it, but I don't know how to feel personally, because I haven't gotten Breath of the Wild yet. So Breath of the Wild 2, I watched the trailer and I was like, a little bit of spoilers, but it looks good.
Yeah, but you can't be mad at them for the spoilers.
No, I can't, because it's a direct... This one's one of the very few direct sequels.
Yeah. I never played, what was it, Twilight Princess?
I was okay with it up until halfway through, and then I think it just stopped because it followed the dopamine.
So, talking about Breath of the Wild, I didn't buy it because I was going to get it for the Wii U, and everyone says, no, there is a substantial difference playing it on the Switch. I was like, okay, I'll wait till I get a Switch, and here I am all these years later and still don't have a Switch.
Yeah.
But this looks really interesting. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. They did say sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or Breath of the Wild 2. Neither one of those is the title. Those are just the working titles, because they said the actual title is a spoiler.
Really?
Yes, they said the actual title will spoil things. So they're waiting to announce the actual title until they get closer to release date.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild, Epona's Revenge. No.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
everyone would shit themselves.
I mean, all these floating things, all these abilities that you have in the regular, I'm here for this. I'm probably going to see if I can get an inexpensive copy of Breath of the Wild somewhere down the line, just before I can even look toward Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever it's going to be.
Bless you.
Woo! Thank you.
All right, now you got me wondering. Let me pull up the good old Amazon app that ever since they changed how it looks, I have the hardest time finding.
What is it? The
It's
grocery
the
cart?
box.
Oh, it's
it
the
used to
box.
be the grocery cart.
Right.
I'm
Well,
gonna-
you bring that up. I'm going to talk about the next game because I love Advance Wars. So for the Game Boy Advance, there was a game called Advance Wars, and with it, it was one of these strategy war typey games that you build a small little army. You get to choose, whether you have artillery, infantry, that sort of thing, and you take over areas or defend areas. And with that, you basically know what can beat what. It's kind of like Stratego in a sense. Like, oh hey, tanks can take out airships, or anti-air takes out, that
fire
kind of
and water types type of thing.
it's similar. And then there are things that can't be beaten at all, but you can whittle them down, and you gotta keep attacking that one thing in order to do the damage. And I just really like Advance Wars. I'm happy to see that they're actually looking back. That they're looking back at this sort of backlog, because at least this one's getting a good look, and I might actually get this because this is only $20.
Yeah, it sounds fun. It's kind of cutesy. It might be interesting.
Yeah.
Real quick, back to Breath of the Wild because I found it. This is the one other thing that really drives me nuts about Nintendo.
What's that?
How long has Breath of the Wild been out for now? 3 years?
5?
5 years?
2016, I think. I think it was just before Doom.
It is still a $60 game.
Oh.
It is being sold on Amazon by Nintendo, 3 different spots. And if you don't look at these sales, which really only knock off like $12 or something like that, you're looking at $59.99, $57.99, $79.99.
So
because
40
that one has the expansion bundle. $79.99 for the expansion bundle. It's currently on sale for $55.98.
So it's similar to how Destiny used to be, where it's like, we're still releasing things, so it's going to be a full-price game with the expansion.
Yeah, but then you've got this one up here that doesn't have the expansion that is $57.99. Or this one up here that doesn't have the expansion, which is currently on sale for $47.88, but it is normally $59.99. And reminder, these are like digitals.
Yep.
No
physicals?
I'm sure there's a physical.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
But yeah, digital code. Okay, $57.99 for physical on that one, but digital code for the expansion is $55.98. And I'm just like, so you want me to spend the price that the game was when it came out all those years ago?
Yep.
Now.
Yep. Nintendo is doing good with their relations. They're not doing good with their marketing.
$47.99 at GameStop, $41 at Walmart, $39.99 at GameStop. That's a different. That's the Wii U version.
I can do $31.99.
So even the Wii U one's $40.
Yeah.
And to answer the previous question, 2017 is when it came out.
Nice.
So
After Doom 2016.
yeah, so 5 years now.
Yeah. But back over to the announcements, I suppose. 2 Point Campus, a connection to 2 Point Hospital, builds the same way, just so that way you can make people happy in their strive for greatness this time instead of strive for wellness. I don't know. I've always been okay with these. What do they call it? Management simulators.
Yeah, they kind of management simulators works. Yeah, they're kind of cute. They're kind of fun. I feel like they're like showing like the people and the interactions and whatnot a lot, which is a fun part of it. But you're running around stressing everything so much playing these games, trying to make sure your hospital doesn't run into the ground, or in this case your college, that you don't notice half the fun shit that these people do.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that 2 Point Hospital does that thing where anything.
That's me. Sorry.
Okay. Anything major happens, it goes over to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm happy to see that these guys are still working on it. I'm curious to know if like they'll work on like 2 Point Restaurant, 2 Point, insert prefix here.
I feel like you got to do something bigger than restaurant. A hospital makes sense because there's so much to a hospital. College makes sense because there's so much to a college. I can see like 2 Point City.
2 Point City might be their next adventure, and if you like create something in 2 Point Hospital or 2 Point Campus, you can roll it over.
I wish that would be great.
That'd be kind of cool.
That was one of the things that always kind of bothered me. Give me Sim City and Sims as the same game.
Yeah, why not?
Like, let me build the city and then go and live in it. Are we supposed to be watching Doom Eternal, or does that just come up next?
This is just what was coming up next. And,
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can talk about it for a second because Doom on. Okay, this is the second console that Doom has ever appeared on, ever. I just want to make that known.
Wait, what do you mean?
First one was the Super Nintendo. Then after that is the Switch. It never had any releases from then to then.
Are you talking like original Doom?
Just any Doom.
No, because they're all on Xbox.
Well, I mean, I'm talking on Nintendo.
Oh, you're talking Nintendo. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. This whole time I thought you were telling me that Doom is never released on a console before, and I'm like,
no. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
On
it
a
has.
Nintendo.
So this is
console.
its second Nintendo.
I will skirt around it and say, Doom 64, sure, fine. I don't count it because it wasn't id Software doing it. It was a third party that just had rights to do it. I don't count it because you have the pink demon who's looks like just a giant wart. I don't like it. I still don't like it. I play it on PC and it's not great. This one you said Lauren would be hugely excited for, and
Yeah, in fact, I am going to. No, I'll tell her later. I was going to take a photo and send
Do
it
it.
to her.
here.
No, because she's working.
I'll be talking about it right now.
She's working. It's fine.
So, get her excited. Get her hyped. I'll leave it right there while I talk about it. So, what we're talking about, however, is Fatal Frame. One of Quincy's girlfriend, my cousin's favorite games is Fatal Frame 3, I believe, Crimson Butterflies.
Yes, she loves Crimson Butterflies.
Which
is a bitch to get a hold of.
What do you mean?
It's pricey.
Oh, yeah. Especially for OG Xbox, as far as I know.
Well, that's the thing. If you buy it on the OG Xbox, you have to have an OG Xbox. It's not backwards.
Not for the
It would
360?
be for the 360 probably. Now I don't think the 360 would allow it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. But we got a new game coming out. Fatal Frame Maiden of the Black Water. Getting to...
Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. You said 3.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
I know
Just wanted to put that out there.
I want to say 3 then is, I think, Shattered Frames. I think is the translation for it. But even still, this is number 5. This is Fatal Frame 5, Made in the Black Water. Getting these games to be translated and sent over to America is a pain. Because we didn't get the last one, as far as I can recall.
No, we haven't gone. I don't think we've had any in the U.S. since Crimson Butterfly.
You think so?
I
know. I want to say we
think
got
so.
the one where what's her name was in the PlayStation 2, but $60.
$60 for a PlayStation 2 game.
I'm sure you can find it used through like hand-me-downs or something.
Maybe. I mean, the cheapest I'm seeing it on here used on Amazon is $39.85.
That's a bit pricey. But I'm happy to see that we're finally getting a Fatal Frame and on the Switch. And that makes me wonder, considering they did have a mobile version of this game, that you use your phone's gyroscope and you take pictures and that kind of thing, but it had no story, it had no semblance. It was just something that was kind of like a tech demo for phones with gyros. This looks like fun, but I'm curious if they're going to have an additional thing for the Switch Pro. And I put that in hard parentheses because you have a camera that's going to be on your new console, and you're going to have 14 different gyros, 3 of which in each Joy-Con. So this is going to be something of interest. I want to see more interactivity, because getting people to sit in a bigger room doing more things in maneuverability would be great. I mean, VR would be even better for this game, I feel, but
They did a VR version of a game like that, and I just don't remember it going over very well. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly for the Xbox is on eBay.
Okay.
Give me your guess.
80.
Higher.
I don't want to guess.
Ranging between 120 and 140.
Fuck.
There's a guy that's selling the replacement case only for $10.
It's a G, thanks. I guess for the collectors.
Yeah.
This game here we talked about a little bit ago. The trailer's not exactly doing it very much justice. Like, they built it out of Legos just to showcase, like, the landscapes, and then they 3D printed it, and then they molded over it.
Yeah, they're showing how they actually developed the biomes for the game.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, and it's a hell of a process that, you don't see for a lot of games. You don't see them go through it like this. You get sketches and stuff, but this is very different. But it's like, we came here to see the game, because you already gave us a teaser, and now you're giving us, like, how we made the game, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I always want to see how we made the game, but, like, I'd also love to see
gameplay.
The game.
Yeah, when it was like, here's this Lego building, and we're like, wait, that's not where. But from what we see on the in-engine little walk-around bits, such as just after they're done doing this little pan-by, I'm like, okay, the maneuverability looks fine. He doesn't look like he's shitting himself. 8 out of 10. Curious to see more. It's going to be, I think, January 2022? And I want to say it's actually a Valve game. Hang on. Yeah, Valve is making it.
Yeah, it's got Steam up there, so.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Dynasty group or the set of games, but the them going to the Wild West is supposed to be their big new venture, and I'm kind of interested because I like Wild West games, and I get bored with Red Dead after a while, and I get bored playing like Desperados and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Wastelands and all that.
Yeah. So it'll be nice to have a new one to go to when I'm in my Western mood.
Very, very uncommon for me, but I think lately I'm going to try and get into those. Like, start digging into the Westerns.
Yeah, not everything can be
sci-fi
JRPGs.
Yeah, one JRPGs.
Says the guy who doesn't play JRPGs. I did start Darkest Dungeon.
That's right, it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I'm enjoying it.
Trinkets
Got pissed off because I officially lost my first hero to a fucking heart attack.
Just, you gotta keep going.
I know, but I was mad. I was like, really? He couldn't even go out in like a blaze of glory. It was a fucking heart attack.
Yes. There's some that will just run away because of stress.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I worked really hard. Like I think I had one that was like level 7. Like, I worked really hard. But one dungeon got to him, and he just ran. I
realized I was also fucking up for a while because we'd get to, like, the weird tentacle trees, and I'd have the shovel, and I was pressing the wrong button. I was like, why are they taking so much damage from cutting this tree down? Because I was telling them to do it with their hands rather than the shovel because I was pressing the wrong fucking button. So, I've been enjoying it. I downloaded a bunch of the new Game Pass stuff. Oh! I sent you a photo the other day, and you're like, oh, that's bullshit. I went to download Conan Exiles to give it a shot. And I went to download it onto my external hard drive, and it says if you can do this, but the game won't be playable. It needs a faster storage. So basically, it needs to be internal storage or the SSD, which I don't have.
Yes.
So my external can run certain games, but the actual Xbox Series X ones, I guess it's having issues with some of them. They have to be on the internal or on the SSD. Which got me looking in and whatnot. I'm like, I hate that I have like no space because the hard drive on the Xbox Series X is pretty big. I've got a terabyte. Why don't I have any space? And I'm looking around and I realized all the games that I brought over on that hard drive and went to play on the Xbox Series X, and they were like, oh, we're going to do an update to make them run the Series X version of the game. For instance, Mortal Kombat 11. The games were installed twice.
Oh.
It was installed on my console and my hard drive. There was like 100 and something gigabytes wasted from duplicate games. I spent like an hour the other day moving games around, deleting games, and just reshuffling my whole freaking thing to end up with like 258 free gigabytes on the damn thing. So anyone that did what I did, where they took their hard drive from their Xbox One and moved it to their Series X, go and check your space. You probably have duplicates. All you gotta do is go to the game in the library, click the press the, I don't remember what the fuck they call it, but for me it's the start button. Go down to manage game
Options.
when you actually go into the manage game section, where it'll be like manage game and game add-ons. When you hover over the game in there and you can select to copy it or move it or whatnot, it'll tell you, one game, 6 DLCs installed on Flux Capacitor is what I named my external. So download on external, or one game, 6 add-ons downloaded on internal.
Yes.
Or if it's fucked up, it'll straight up say downloaded on 2 devices. So I had to go through my entire library, and there was multiple games like that. I had so many gigabytes just fucking wasted. So
You told me about this one here.
Yeah.
This is called Griftlands, and I haven't watched it because I was busy looking up other things.
a deck building
And this is hand drawn. This is hand drawn.
People don't starve. It's a deck building roguelite game about what was the way they worded it? Fuck, I don't remember the term they used. Cons. Everything's a con job, and they say it's there's a lot of grifting in it.
Yeah.
It looks really interesting. The characters look really well thought out and actually interesting, rather than just like, oh, it's another version of a bard, oh, it's another version of a barbarian, oh, it's another version of this, it's another version of that. These look like thought out, interesting characters. I'm kind of into it.
I you know what? I kind of am too. It kind of looks like a nice little turn-based combat, but you can actually do a talk.
Yeah, and I like that it's deck building with turn-based combat, rather than just being like, oh, we see the deck, the card that I play, go to the other card. We actually see them whipping bottles at each other because of what the card does.
Right,
Which I kind of like.
Slay the Spire is another one that's similar to that, where you have cards that kind of build toward the person, and there are negative cards that get added in, such as like there's a character that has an ailment to themselves, like curse. So there's these cards that do damage to yourself every time they pop up in your hand. Mm-hmm. But there are cards that alleviate that can help heal you over the course of time as you do damage. And so it's this whole thing of, I need more damage, or I need to figure out a way to fix this curse while I'm moving through the spire. I like that. And this seems like it would be better with, actually having interactions, because it seems like when you're going through, you have to talk to, like, individuals. As you talk to them, you obviously make people hate you. Literally hate you. And you can make friends. Whoever has friendships with you, they can help you against someone else. Or if they hate you, they can, make something harder for you. I like that. I like that dynamic. It's a little Mass Effect-y, but this seems to probably do it a little bit better. Because when someone hates you in Mass Effect, it's bland. It's tasteless.
Mass Effect,
I can walk a walk.
Fallout.
Well, with Fallout, if you have, like, Boone hate you, most of Nipton is closed off to you. So that has repercussions.
Or like with Fallout 3, when you tell off the guy that wants you to set off the bomb in Megaton, people start showing up dead in town.
Yeah. And I like that. I like having your actions have consequences, but at the same time you can do it through words, not through action. I like that. I like that a lot.
Before we move on, there's something that popped in my head while we were looking at this that I wanted to ask you about.
I'll do that.
There's talks about, there's rumors, just pure rumors. There's nothing announced.
Okay.
You're getting back into ESO, right? You're liking it?
I like it.
There's talks that they're going to stop eventually doing the add-ons.
Okay.
Because they're going to launch ESO 2.
I don't know.
And it feels like, when they did that with EverQuest, or whenever they've tried to do some kind of, like, other version of WoW or something like that. It's like, no, just keep updating the current thing.
I mean, I think they're going to keep going with this for a long time.
I do, too.
They just introduced Oblivion, and they said that the next one's going to be in the Marshlands, which I'm like, cool. The Marshlands definitely need a little bit of love. I don't like Argonians, not because I'm racist against them. I just have no like for them. They are bland. They are tasteless. They don't do it for me. That was a weird
Yeah. I don't even know.
That was like a car with like a clean engine that sounded like a what do they call it? A vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, kind of.
Sorry about that, guys. You guys probably didn't hear that.
Probably
but that was
not, but it was
us.
weird. Yeah, I think they're going to keep going with it for a while, but I think trying to do a sequel to it would be the thing that kills the Bethesda MMORPG.
Yeah, I mean, if they start pulling out their single-player cards and actually start pushing out single-player games,
I mean, they're going to.
I know,
they
but
already
I mean,
are.
When was the last one they dropped?
Doom Eternal.
Okay, I'll give you that. Even though it was I'll
That was
fine.
Bethesda.
It was Bethesda who published it, but I will give
Bethesda
you that.
owns it.
I know. Well,
They own id.
They own id, but id is not Obsidian. It is.
Well,
not.
no, Obsidian isn't Bethesda.
Obsidian's owned by Bethesda.
No,
But-
Obsidian's owned by Microsoft.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay.
And now they're the same company because Bethesda was bought by Microsoft. They're like all blanketed. No, Obsidian's separate. Obsidian worked with Bethesda to do New Vegas. And that was it.
And Elder Scrolls Online.
And ESO Online, yeah. But technically that was Microsoft doing that in a sense because that was after Microsoft owned Obsidian.
This is getting
ZeniMax or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, ZeniMax was owned by
id and Bethesda are all
Oh, and Arcane.
in Arcane. I don't know Arcane.
Dishonored.
Ah, okay, Arcane. Those are all one. But no, Obsidian was its own thing.
Interesting.
Obsidian's where the original Fallout creators went
Yes.
after Fallout was bought.
After Fallout
by
had their
Bethesda,
Fallout.
pretty much. But like, if they were going to do a sequel to 76, no, keep fixing 76, keep adding to it. The Pit's coming, and I'm like,
Whoa.
oh, shit, I gotta get back into 76
Yeah.
because the Pit was like my favorite DLC from Fallout 3. I wasn't a huge Mothership Zeta fan.
I was a
Sorry,
Mothership Zeta
didn't
fan
take
just
it.
because aliens.
Yeah, that was
And
actually
also-
my issue was the aliens. I was like, I didn't really want that. I mean, the gun's cool.
I mean, when you find the crashed spaceship in base game, you're like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, but what I hate is how difficult it is to get ammo for the gun.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is it's so strong that you have to pick your battles to use it. And then Mothership Zeta came out, and you get, I think 100 more rounds for
I
it.
don't remember. I doubt, to be honest, ESO is still introducing new systems in game. Yeah, I don't think it was something that's like anytime soon. I'm saying like
It's in the Whisper box.
it's in the Whisper box probably because they probably went through and went, hey, let's start coding for a big Elder Scrolls world, and someone went, oh, is this an ESO replacement? I'm not saying it's actually happening like next week or anything. This would be years.
Yeah, it'd be
years
down the line. Oh, definitely more than likely.
I don't remember which DLC it was for Fallout 3, but one of them you have to. It's the one with the Dunwich house.
Point Lookout.
Is that Point Lookout? Okay. If you pay attention, there's a meteor that falls, and if you can find where the meteor hit, it's got a bunch more ammo for the gun. And if you can't find it, make sure you bring Dogmeat with you because he can most likely go and find the ammo. Fallout 3 is my shit.
Yeah.
That's the actual Point Lookout meteor.
Man,
That's the trailer.
No, it's a trailer, but Point Lookout location.
Are you sure it's Point Lookout? Because I'm not seeing anything with Dunwich.
Yeah.
Because it's the one with the obelisk that creates feral ghouls in the basement of the house.
Hang on.
Just look up Dunwich Manor for Fallout 3.
Okay.
It'll tell us which one it is. Because it may not be Point Lookout.
I'm just gonna double check though.
'Cause it wasn't the pit.
What game? Oh, it doesn't say. Which one did you say? Dunwich?
Yeah.
Dunwich Manor Fallout. Dunwich.
Okay, yeah, Point Lookout. You're right.
Okay.
Or Dunwich Building. Yeah. Okay.
The Heart of the Black Hall. Tenpenny Tower.
Yeah, you get this whole thing with like this obelisk that's like creating feral ghouls and shit.
Huh.
But yeah, so pretty much if you're walking around, you'll see a meteor. Like a shooting star type of thing. And if you
Oh.
can find out where it landed, it'll have more ammo for the alien gun.
Oh, and it just literally has an elder being just added into it. I never ran into this. So I'm going back through Fallout 3.
Yeah, so this is one of their Cthulhu-esque things. And the Dunwich concept actually makes a comeback. Dunwich is actually from
Cthulhu
Lovecraft
mythos.
and the Cthulhu mythos. So Dunwich actually has a comeback in Fallout 4. The quarry is the Dunwich Quarry, and that's got all the feral ghouls, and you get the whole thing with like the lights shutting off, and all the weird shit.
I ran into that, but I never
rich
painted it.
family that's been doing all this Cthulhu mythos shit throughout the games.
Okay.
Also, the
wait, are we talking that quarry that you have to? There's two of them. There's one that you need to drain to help out some dude, and then you can kind of.
No. This one's empty and it's full of raiders.
That's it. Okay, that was the second one. Okay. Then yeah,
it's not out by it, but it's in the direction of the Witch Museum.
Okay.
And then the guy closer to the actual city, Pickett or something like that. Pickman, the guy that's been killing all the raiders and whatnot, and you can go in and finish off the raiders and save them, and he's been like painting paintings with like their blood and stuff like that. That whole thing is another Lovecraft thing.
Painting the blood with the enemies. That does sound familiar. It's been a while since I've been through most of the
there's a lot
books.
of Lovecraft stuff and Cthulhu mythos stuff throughout.
They're all relatively short. There is a Call of Cthulhu style book called The Ballad of Black Tom. I recommend it highly. It is very obscure. Some things you won't really catch on to on your first read, but when you start reading this, like the second or third time, it's kind of like that movie that you missed a few references. When you finally read it the second time, you're like, oh, we already said that.
So there's a book that I read a while back. You may be into this, may not. It's called Meddling Kids. And
Scooby-Doo?
It's kind of Scooby-Doo. So the dog's different and doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Each character is different enough that there was no lawsuit, basically is what it comes down to.
Okay.
And they are dealing with Cthulhu-esque shit. Like, basically, they went through some Cthulhu thing that caused the Fred character to kill himself. And now it's kind of what the other people are going through and how they're going to join back up to years later when they're adults to go back to their hometown and defeat whatever has caused this mental strain and basically ruin their hometown and all that. It was okay. I wasn't super into it, but it was an interesting listen because I did the audiobook version.
Okay, cool. I'll Meddling Kids. I'll keep my mind around it.
All right, back to news. We went off on a tangent.
We did. So this game I showed you, and it's probably going to be one that I'm going to go out of my way to get just because it is one of those... it's one of those card games that isn't just a card game because you have a room around you.
But you also have to have what puzzles in?
You get a few puzzles, you get a few different things. You have a place where you can sacrifice cards to other cards, and you have a faceless being that keeps asking for other faces. And your cards can slowly devolve and begin talking to you. And every puzzle you solve may or may not be helping you. And then the faceless creature taps at the table and says, "Sit, we got a game to play." Or, "Sit, I got something I need to mention to you."
Playing Cards Against the Devil is basically what it feels like.
Yeah.
But then it does this weird twist where, like, we've been watching it. It's in this cabin. Everything's kind of, like, darker and woodsy and whatnot. And then out of nowhere, we got, like, live action moments. We got a floppy disk. We got a pixel fucking game. I don't know. Her response to...
Okay, good. Just as long as she's aware of it.
She's very excited.
I'm here for this game. This one is probably my second runner-up for games I want to get into. My first one being Returned. Returned is another big one. Wizard with a Gun was another one that got announced by Devolver Digital. If anyone who hear my voice, I don't want to spoil it, but Devolver Digital always has these very interesting E3 conferences, lack of better words. This one's no better or worse. They do fun things for their announcements of games, and every single one has kind of literally, as their name says, devolved over the course of time.
They're insane.
They are fucking batshit insane, and the main woman who is behind it, as far as like their front runner, is a doll. She looks like she has fun every single time, especially when she has like a massive bloody nose on stage while she's trying to sell you video games.
What was it, 3 E3s ago? They just filled her with bullets on stage?
Yep. Yeah, and everyone's just sitting there clapping and cheering, and then she comes back the next year, a robot that can only do nothing but dream, and you're inside of a dream.
Yeah.
So that's how you're getting all the games that people want to buy. And then this one, I don't want to spoil it. The only thing I can say is microtransactions in real life.
It's called a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Life is a microtransaction.
Life-
We're all just waiting to get the payout.
Yeah, life is a microtransaction. But Wizard with a Gun, beautiful art between all of the artists. There's a wizard that's inside of a cage that got caught, and he's like, well, it looks like I'm stuck now, and takes out a gun, does a quick draw. Like, it's a beautiful art style. Not a lot of, like, faces, but the eye is glimmering in different color shading. It just looks so goddamn good. I am here for this. The top-down style, it's Zelda-esque. Kind of reminds me of Bastion a little bit, if you've ever played that. You can create your little hub world with you and some friends, and with the creation of your areas, you can hopefully get to endgame.
Keep talking.
Yeah, and God, that little teleport that he has, it's good stuff. I could foresee some really good DLCs being made over the course of time with this game. I'm just curious on how far the sandbox adventure will go.
There's a breeze.
Oh, good.
There's like a legit good breeze.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry, we're doing a little bit of AC reduction on the fly.
Everyone just saw that I was lazy today and wore basketball shorts to the podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm wearing cargos as usual, and it's so hot.
I just couldn't do jeans today.
Oh God.
Next week, full suit with the jacket. No.
I'm wearing a Speedo next week. Real talk. It is hot in here, but as you can see, there's a little bit of creation where you can just plop down some things. It kind of looks like Don't Starve Together.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has a very Don't Starve-esque feel to it.
Yeah. Beautiful guns. You can craft your own spells that.
Devolver and their revolvers.
Yeah, I mean they've done mostly revolver style games. What with Enter the Gungeon, Hotline Miami.
Exit the Gungeon.
Yeah, Exit the Gungeon. Yeah, they do enjoy their revolver. Fucking Shadow Warrior has a revolver in it. Yeah. I think that is in their clause that they need a revolver in the games you make.
Wind. Close one of the doors.
That breeze is
That
nice.
breeze is picking up.
That breeze is nice, though.
I'm watching the pine tree outside move.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, that actually feels really nice.
We can survive till the end of the cast.
Yeah, I was about to be like, you keep going for 2 minutes, and I was gonna go wash my face. But that's it with my gaming news. Do you have any other gaming news? Gaming news you want to talk about?
I don't. I can just touch on the fact that everything we saw this E3 really showed that Xbox is really pushing to make Game Pass. Wow. Xbox is really pushing to make Game Pass a bigger and bigger thing. Switch is coming out with plenty of stuff, and PlayStation shot themselves in the foot by deciding to skip E3.
I thought they were going to do a state of play or something.
They said they were going to do one, just not at E3.
Right, but where?
I'm assuming they didn't want to drop it during E3 and it get buried, because the reality is they should have just done one for E3. They got we can't be there, well then we're not going to do it. And it was like, what? No, just do your state of plays like you've been doing. Just do them for E3.
Yes.
I also don't know how much they have to show. I think my big takeaway from E3 was we saw a lot of good. We saw very few bad.
Yes.
But what I also noticed was there was a lot of last year's E3 and the E3 before that, a lot of what was teased or debuted at the previous two E3s, no updates.
Some, yes.
Where was our Elder Scrolls update?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Where was our update for Rocksteady's game? Or Warner Brother Montreal's game?
That would be...
Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights.
Those two I don't know nothing about, but they've been working on...
Warner Brothers Montreal, not Ubisoft Montreal.
I know. Let me do this. You're right. I am right there beside you. This one had a lot of... I think the low end of this E3 is the fact that there are 4 soup-making games. I'm not mad at them. It's just I'm very confused why 4 people decided to make soup-making games.
I barely make soup in real life. I'm not going to play games all about making it.
Right. Well, there's one that's supposed to be, you're running a restaurant and you feed the wayward people who come in. It's one of those, like, lo-fi is playing in the background.
You feed people the wayward people that are coming in?
The people that way, the wayward people.
Which favorite kind of soup?
My favorite kind of soup? Tomato. OG tomato.
Really?
Yeah.
And then with some cheddar on top? Or?
With Parmesan, and then I dip a grilled cheese.
Okay. If I'm doing canned, vegetable beef. If I'm doing homemade, homemade's the only way I'll eat chicken noodle. I will not eat chicken noodle out of a can. I hate it. But yeah, vegetable beef or country vegetables. But the real, like, homemade one that just, potato cheese soup with carrots and peas. Amazing. Yeah, okay,
right.
You're pointing out Back 4 Blood, which we talked about, but I'm not saying they didn't debut games. I'm saying where the fuck was the update on these games?
You're right.
That were announced last E3 or the E3 before that. Hell, when it comes to Suicide Squad from Rocksteady, they, like 4 E3s ago, were supposed to show up and just didn't, and actually got called out by NetherRealm for it. Then they full on just said, we're not going to come to the next E3. Then they didn't come to the next E3 after that, and they basically just kept avoiding E3s until last E3 when they debuted Suicide Squad, which hasn't come out until next year, so you'd think they would at least give us a new teaser.
Yeah.
We're still running off the previous teaser.
Yeah, we got nothing. And
considering this game works so well with the new movie that's coming out, and you've got Samoa Joe, who's been released from WWE, so you could definitely probably get him to do some press for...
He just got signed.
He got signed back for WWE again?
Yeah,
he should have gone over to AEW.
He should have either gone over to AEW or at least New Japan. Because New Japan's going to get signed with AEW anyways.
Yeah, probably.
He already the WWE's scared, and they're like, hey, you want money? Take the money. And Aleister Black has assumed that he got handed another contract, so I don't know if Aleister Black's going to be going back.
Which one's that?
The Celtic-looking one. He looks similar to Sheamus, but has some actual color to his skin. Here. Aleister Black. I spelled his name wrong because he hasn't.
I don't know him. I don't watch WWE anymore, so I guess I just I missed this one.
Well,
but my point with the Joe thing was he's not doing anything, so you could definitely have gotten him to do some press, I'm sure, for Suicide Squad because he's not busy. Not like, he needs the money, but like his schedule's not as busy as it was.
Senor Joe.
Most of Steiner's Cameo is doing versions of that for people. He makes fun of that video, that whole spot.
Good. I'm glad that he can make fun of himself, just because, I mean...
He's a genetic freak and he's not normal.
I'm a genetic freak!
Back to the Joe thing. My thought process was, this is the time to get him to do press for the game because he's not busy, because as soon as he gets back to wrestling, his schedule is just going to be fucking slammed again. And now they've re-signed him, so it's like, well, shit, you guys kind of dropped the ball on that one. That was my big takeaway from E3, though, was there was a lot of things that were announced last E3, things that have been delayed since they were announced last E3 or the E3 before that we never actually got an update on, especially considering a lot of these games aren't coming out for another year.
Either later on this year as one of those under the radar types, which we've had before, just such as with the Gotham Knight VR, the one where you're the detective. That one slid under the hood, but then again, it was only 3 hours of gameplay.
For $40.
It was a tech demo,
pretty much. For tech they're never going to use.
Yeah,
but no, I'm saying Suicide Squad has a 2022 release date.
That it does.
Why did we not get at least a new teaser? Gotham Knights had to be pushed back because the game's not going to be ready.
I don't think it's ready. If it's not ready, but we have a date, I'll admit, us being the consumer, we would want to see more. I get that.
I don't care if it was just, hey, look at these cool statues we made for the characters. Something to keep the game fresh in our minds. The only reason I'm remembering it is because I'm a stupid Batman fan.
Fair enough.
So,
yes.
But that's E3.
I mean, I'm not going to get another Punisher game for probably my entire existence, so I'm at least making amends with that.
So
the last good one was the one on the Xbox and PlayStation 2.
So I have the Xbox version of it. I have to see if it works in my 360 because I've never played it.
It's a good one.
So here's what you do. Sit down and figure out a Punisher game. We'll create a Punisher game. We'll go to Square Enix, whatever they're called, with it. Because they have the Marvel game.
Yeah.
And we will become the guys that brought Punisher into the future.
Back into the gaming world.
I don't know the first thing about making video games, so that's never going to work, but it's a pipe dream. It's fun.
I mean, yeah, we can be story writers. It doesn't have to necessarily be anything of actual use. It's just as long as we can be, like, head writers of it.
Yeah.
Considering I've got more...
Punisher knowledge than anyone?
than most. The only thing I don't have vast knowledge of is most of the war journals, most of the Vietnam stuff, and Frankencastle.
Frankencastle would be a cool DLC, though.
That would be a great DLC, though.
Right, stop. We're selling everyone else our idea.
Holy shit. A fucking Blood Dragon style. Oh!
Oh, also, get this fucking company off my goddamn screen. They owe me money.
Oh, WWE or
Bleacher Report.
Ah.
I'm going to put them on blast. Sorry, put it on blast on Twitter.
That's fine. Do it.
They will not refund me.
I know.
They are saying they will not refund me because it's after the show. But I sat on hold during the show for an hour with them. And they're like, but now we're talking about the refund, and it's after the pay-per-view. I'm
and you're like,
but you wouldn't answer my call during the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And here's screenshots of my call and everything. They're like,
So?
it's after the pay-per-view, so no.
Yeah.
And then they disconnected the chat with me because I was like, no, I want my money.
Yeah.
We never got to watch the pay-per-view because we got to watch pay-per-view, but not through my purchase, through someone else's purchase.
Right.
Because when I bought it, it wouldn't switch over. And they're like, no, it looks like it was fine. I'm like, it wasn't fine. It wouldn't work. They're like, no, I don't see any issues with it. How could you possibly know that? That's not how that...
You don't know.
And so they won't give me my money.
Yeah. I would report them to Better Business Bureau just because it is bad practices
Just keep blasting them on Twitter and ruin their lives.
I mean, that's a slow-going process. I admit, I'm down with your way of thinking. It's just, I would say Better Business Bureau would actually be a little bit more beneficial.
I really wish we had Fight TV in the U.S.
Fight TV?
Fight TV is a thing pretty much anywhere other than the U.S. And I think maybe Canada. Canada might have Fight TV. I'm not 100%
Canada
sure.
has hockey.
Well, yeah, that's true. No, Fight TV, it's basically, think an online streaming service for all of the wrestling.
Okay.
Not like
WWE Network.
how WWE Network, well, WWE Network isn't a thing anymore. They're on Peacock
how it
now.
used to be.
Yeah, so like how WWE Network's on Peacock and whatnot. No, Fight TV is where you go like, I want to watch NXT. I want to watch New Japan Pro. I want to watch this. In other countries, it's all done through Fight TV.
Cool.
So I wish we got it in the U.S.
Right.
I mean, you probably VPN it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go through it.
But with this gentleman, this is Aleister Black, and apparently from Bleach Report, which you do not like, but I'm just going to use their little note bit here, that they might be signing with AEW, which means I might be watching more AEW because I like Aleister Black. He is one of my favorite wrestlers. I had an NPC named Aleister Black before I knew about Aleister Black, the wrestler.
What do you think your greatest character name, video game, D&D, whatever, has ever been?
Scruffins the Third.
Okay.
She's my favorite player character / NPC that I've ever made.
Lauren named my character for Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay.
Banks.
Thanks.
Robin Banks.
I hate it. I like it, but I hate it.
Yeah, he's Robin Banks. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get everything up for the next thing while I ask Socks. What's your favorite kind of soup? Socks just says soup is great. What's your favorite soup?
Well, the next thing is...
Yeah.
Okay. Shoe news. So, I like Happy Gilmore. Do you like...
Happy Gilmore's great.
Happy Gilmore is amazing. So... Oh, that's right. So, I have 2 Khajiit in ESO, and... I had them with actual, like, Rajad Qad, like, actual, like, Khajiit cool names.
Uh-huh.
And then I changed them over to Tabaxi-style names. One is a rogue that is named I Can't Not Steal. And the other one is a Templar healer named I Meow When I Heal.
Right, meow.
Right, meow. Also, Sox's favorite soup is pumpkin soup. I could have answered that, but I was too busy doing that thing you told me to do.
I don't think I've had pumpkin soup.
Yeah, she has a thing right now where she makes it preemptively, or ferments the soup, or ferments the pumpkins, so that way it's easier to make the pumpkin soup.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had pumpkin soup.
Yes.
I've had risotto, and I want to try pumpkin risotto because I've never done that.
Yeah, me and pumpkins. Last time I had pumpkin, I got sick, so it scared me away from pumpkins.
Not even like pumpkin seeds or pumpkin pie. You're such a bitch.
Hey, if it causes me to like have tremors and be dehydrated for 3 days.
What was it? Was it
I think it was a bad pumpkin pie.
bad pumpkin pie? Ugh.
I like the taste of it. It's just after that I was just like, I can do without it.
Sweet
Thanks.
potato pie's good.
Huh?
Sweet potato pie's pretty good.
I heard, yeah. I've never had an actual.
My mom bought one thinking it was a pumpkin pie because their color's very close. And I was the only one in the house that liked it, so I got an entire fucking pie to myself.
Hey.
I was pretty excited. Are you peeling your can?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's a label. It's not printed actually on the can.
Interesting. All right, back to this. We gotta wrap up.
Okay, so we like Happy Gilmore very much. Yes. There's an entire set from Adidas, I believe it is. It is Adidas. Their
Adidas.
golf collection. Yes. Where it involves a full ensemble of clothing between hats, a golf jacket, golf gloves, golf cleats, regular running shoes, even golf balls, for crying out loud.
And sandal flip-flop
sandals.
type things.
Yeah, and of course regular T-shirts. And the actor that plays Shooter McGavin, what's his name? Do you know his name?
I'm
I could just go up and look at the thing. McDonald. I just have his last name, McDonald.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
Christopher McDonald.
Yep. Either always the bad guy or always someone's dad in whatever he plays, and he does amazing with all of them.
I mean, to be typecasted is not one thing, but two things better.
He's the dad in SLC Punk, and he fucking kills it.
He does. And a lot of really cool clothing, just regular T-shirts. The scooter itself is a part of it. The Happy Land Mini Golf T-shirt. The visor, the shoes.
What's the finger?
Yeah, with the fingers, the finger points. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. I love the polo, the button-up polo with the blue and white sideways checkers. The hoodie a little bit much. It's like a salmon color, and I don't know. It just looks weird.
It also doesn't fully unzip. It like unzips
halfway,
V-neck, but it doesn't even actually open. What it is it's got another layer there just to spread it out so it's not tight on you.
I mean, it also has kangaroo pouch.
Yeah, but that's weird. I've
It's
never seen a sweater like that.
Like a V-neck breakaway sweater hoodie.
Not even really a breakaway because like there's another fabric there from the hoodie that's there. That's so weird.
Like a inner blazer. I don't know. Whatever.
I've never seen a hoodie like that.
But Christopher looks good here.
Yeah.
He looks really good. I would actually. Is he still acting?
Yeah, and he also is on Cameo as Shooter.
Yeah, like literally everything: pants, jacket, gloves, and even his just regular hand gesture. It all fills in. Like this is A+ marketing. Kind of not frustrated, but like, come on, Adam. You could have pumped out for the. Was it 25th or 35th? 25th?
I mean, he might have been busy. I mean, but he also, I think it's the 25th. He
25th.
also just did that TikTok where he nailed one.
Yeah,
in
for
a very
him.
happy way and called out Shooter.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still acting. His last 3 things were actually made this year.
Oh, good. And
And he played the coach in Gabriel Iglesias' show on Netflix.
And then, oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Inside of the running shoes is a picture of Shooter, hands out. I think this is when he loses at the
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Cliff food tastes are anything that won't make him shit his whole ass. Yeah.
I saw that, and to which I understand and I agree. But I've had discussions with this man where I'm like, "This is what we're gonna do for dinner," and he goes, "No, I had something from that entire cuisine one time and it made me sick, so I'm off the whole thing." And it's like,
it's a fear drive for me.
I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. So
I don't ask you to get it. I don't ask anyone to get it.
So these are for the 25th anniversary. Do we have a release date and prices?
No and no. Hang on. As far as I saw, no.
It doesn't look like it.
No.
And JMH says protect the poop chute.
Yep. Yeah.
That's all right. Keep an eye out for them. It also looks like either the scooter or at least stickers are on the scooter are part of this collection.
Yes. Just going to go to the bottom.
Oh, and happy Father's Day out there to everyone, including JMH in the chat.
Yes.
Because while JMH is a mother, JMH is also a father.
Yes. Best father I've ever had.
That's how it is with my mom. I wish my mom a happy
it.
Father's Day every year.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day.
You know what Lauren started doing to her mom on her birthday?
What's that?
When her mom texts her and says happy birthday, Lauren responds with happy anniversary. Because it's their anniversary in a sense of when she was born.
Yeah, sure. Oh, here we go. Cool. So if you go to the Extra Butter website, let's go see what they've got as far as pricing here. Let's see. Come on, images.
What is this dial-up image loading?
I don't know.
We have full Wi-Fi signal, and I pay for not the top, but pretty damn close.
Yeah. Just a lot of pictures. So I guess it's still the whole preview. Oh, to be fair, all the images were loading at once. Yeah, all of these images. Is there anything at the bottom? No, there is not.
Friday, June 25th.
Oh, did you really? Hey! So yeah.
On the Extra Butter mobile app. So that's where you check.
Online or at the mobile app.
My brain caught that right before you scrolled, and I was like, oh, Friday, June 25th. There we go.
And the scooter will be released in a fat scooters.
Cool.
Wow.
Golf balls are kind of cool, actually.
Now, you like Lego, right?
I do like Lego. Really quick before we move on to that. The golf balls.
Yeah.
There's someone I would get these as a gift for. So
yeah?
I may have to keep these on my radar depending on the price.
Okay.
Yes, I like Lego.
Okay.
Lego fun. Much Lego.
Would you wear a Lego?
Yes, Lego. All the Lego.
All right.
Can I get a shirt with a Lego spot that I can stick a little minifigure on the center of my chest?
I would say on the shoulder.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, Lego.
So Superstar, Adidas as well, and Lego made a set for those who collect their shoes. And I find that to be kind of endearing. I love it. It's great. Uncomfortable, I'm sure, for those who want to wear them. But they have a set. $90. Releases July 1st. And the box is pretty straightforward. It has a little display. Configure it. Does it showcase how many pieces? No, it doesn't.
But it does look like the collectible shoebox, go back up.
Oh,
the
sorry.
collectible shoebox and 17 additional Lego elements to create a one-of-a-kind model. So
I think it might be the stripes. I'm here for it. They have actual shoelaces.
Nice.
The tongue looks like it's just it looks Lego. Like there's no looking around it to see something else.
I mean, that would be one hell of a footprint.
That would be one hell of a footprint.
So they are a men's size 7 is what they're actually...
7.5.
7.5 is what they're actually marked as, which is interesting because, I mean, if you can wear this, you're a beast.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Does that right there give any information on...
Since
no.
1970 article and the nickname, no.
No. All right. That's worth a shot.
But I mean, it's a nice little addition to any shoe collector who also enjoys Lego.
Yeah.
Whoop. So I like Assassin's Creed. Only about as far as I can throw it. Just because it gets a little convoluted at, what was it, Brotherhood? No, 2.
I mean, it can't be 2 because...
At the end, what was the one that had the weird... the embodiment of Adam and Eve wasn't really that of human, it was that of alien.
It's not even that they're alien, it's just the ones that were here before.
Right. And it kind of hints at those of celestial, though.
They were like a higher intelligent being that essentially died off, but built a thing to save the human race.
Right, the apple of Eden.
It's That's just one artifact.
Yeah.
But I don't remember when the Adam and Eve thing started getting included in it. But the apple was in the first game.
I don't remember the first game just because it was a little rough to get through. I do remember.
I played the shit out of it. I just never 100%ed it because I'm not fucking getting all those flags.
The
the
feathers
feathers
was
is 2.
Yeah.
So it goes 1, 2. I think it goes Brotherhood, and then it begins with an R.
Revelations.
Is it Revelation?
I don't know. I was guessing. Hold on. Let's go.
That's the one I didn't like because they killed off a character, and now you're playing in like his weird deadness. I fucking don't know.
Revelations.
Yeah, Revelations.
I hate that I was right.
3 was good.
3 was very good.
Liberation spinoff was okay.
Black Flag was a little bit better in my hands.
I like 3 more than Black Flag because I got tired of fucking sailing across the goddamn ocean all the time.
Fair.
As where my buddy James loves Black Flag to death. It's his favorite in the franchise, and he's dying for the Skull and Bones game that's never going to fucking come out.
That's Square, right?
No, that's Ubisoft.
Is it Ubisoft?
Yeah, they just keep re-fucking starting. They actually full on just trashed everything they did to start over.
Cool.
And then Pirates. I don't remember Pirates. It's a spinoff. Rogue was okay. I didn't finish it. It was the one that they released as like an apology to the fact that the new game was only coming out on the next gen console.
Gotcha.
Unity was broken but okay. The big problem was they lied to us about the multiplayer.
And the broken textures.
Oh yeah, like I said, it was broken. Syndicate was great. Chronicles were interesting. I didn't play Identity. Origins.
I liked Origins. Yeah. Origins was fine.
That's when they changed it to the RPG style, and I just haven't been as into it. Like, I still haven't finished Odyssey.
Odyssey, I haven't even touched, so...
I haven't finished Odyssey, and Valhalla's now out, and I'm just not really all that pulled in.
If Valhalla pops on sale, I might throw some money away.
Okay.
Just because Valhalla is... It actually interested me. I watched a little bit of it from a friend playing it. I was like, this actually looks really fun.
The story, I feel, has gotten better and less convoluted and more understandable, starting roughly around 3. 2 was okay. Brotherhood was all right. Revelations really fucked it. And then they started facing it with 3. And I think the reason why Revelations fucked it so much is because they went off course from what they were originally going to do.
Between Black Flag and Origins is where I'm at, because everything in the middle, I didn't understand. So when Origins started off, and you're this woman who's living in a cave that has a little bit of power, and you're like, I don't understand any of this shit. There's a video on YouTube that kind of covers very specific bits in case you're like, hey, you didn't play this game because you couldn't play it or had a hard time with it. Yeah. Here's this, and it showcases what you missed.
Yeah. And I say go back and play Syndicate. Syndicate's worth the play. Plus, there's DLC where you hunt Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
He is one of my favorite murderers.
Now, yeah, the story gets a little weird after 2 for a while because originally, everything I understand, I mean, we're talking the day of getting Game Informer magazine and sitting down and reading it because, holy crap, I need more information because my games are over, type of thing. Assassin's Creed came out and they said we're going to do 3 games.
Right.
By the end of the 3rd game, Ethan, I do believe, is the character, right? Mm-hmm. I think the character's Ethan. By the end of the 3rd game, Ethan will have all of the assassin powers, the full eagle eye ability and all that.
From the OG?
From the OG. Whatever guy they were putting in the Animus.
Animus, yeah. I want to say it started with an S. Hold on. Who is the guy who...
Main character of Assassin's Creed 1.
Into the Animus?
That's not right.
That's not right.
So look up the main character of Assassin's Creed 1.
Desmond.
Okay, I don't know where I got Ethan then.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Desmond. So Desmond was supposed to, by the end of 3, have all the assassin abilities, because you see it in 2, also. Like, you see that he gets the vision in 1.
Yes.
By the end of 2, he's silent assassinating people in a warehouse.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be, by 3, he is full-blown an assassin. You're playing with him as an assassin modern day. That did not happen when they went, this is a fucking, gold mine, and started doing spin-offs and whatnot, and took forever to release the 3rd game, and the 3rd game's not even Desmond anymore, and we just go through this whole... Well, actually, Game 3 is Desmond.
Yes. Spoilers for the game.
Spoilers
I'm sorry.
for Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, spoilers for Assassin's Creed 3. He lives through it, but of course he perishes at the end of 4.
No, it's at the end of 3, I thought.
Mm-mm.
Is it 4?
It's at the end of 4.
No, because Black Flag's not through Desmond's eyes. You find his body in 4.
Yes.
He dies at the end of 3.
But people
It's
are
left kind of... And then they find his corpse in 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
So but it's still... It was still warm when they found it. So that's when I say that's about
Yeah,
the
because what
timeline.
it is 3, he activates the device to save humanity, but at the cost of Desmond.
Yes. So it's about that as far as timeline, as far as when he died.
4 is also the one that has a connection to Watch Dogs.
Yeah. I want to go back through it to go find that one. It's a side quest, was it?
So it's a side quest in Watch Dogs. It's a conversation you overhear in some emails you see throughout 4.
Okay.
We're in the Abstergo building. Basically, he has to go to a meeting in Chicago. You
Chicago.
hear him talking about it, and then you hear them freaking out because like he's missing or something like that. And when you play Watch Dogs, it's because you have a mission to attack his convoy and knock him unconscious. He's not one you kill. He's one of the ones where you just beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
And so that's the connection.
The
there.
connection of it. Magazines that came with demos. PlayStation Magazine used to have that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And those demo discs were amazing. It was my first run-in with Crash Bandicoot 2, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, I never played Crash Bandicoot 1. I need to go back and play it. And I played Crash Bandicoot 1, and it was amazing. Hard, but amazing.
I miss those days. I've got stacks of Game Informers from back in the day.
Yeah, I do too. I was reading through them, and then I just said, you know what? I'm taking the covers. And that's all I took. Because that was all I really wanted.
I mean, I remember being so hyped when a new Game Informer would show up, and I'd sit there and I'd read that whole damn magazine and everything. So, back to Assassin's Creed. Also, within all this, everyone talks about how terrible the Assassin's Creed movie is, but the reality is if you read the stuff in the games and you pay attention to the movie, it's not a movie that did a bad job of remaking the first game. It's a movie that is set in the world of the games.
Yes.
It's someone else going into a different kind of animus, yada, yada. I don't know that if they're going to continue that connection or if this is a whole new thing, but the whole reason why we started talking about Assassin's Creed is we're getting Assassin's Creed series over at Netflix. And now we are using an article that's on Rotten Tomatoes purely because we couldn't remember the showrunner's name, and so we were pulling this up.
Yes. Jeb Stewart, who has worked on Die Hard and The Fugitive, and they're going to be working on the Viking sequel on Netflix called Vikings Valhalla. So this guy's got a lot under his belt, and he's going to be working on a whole bunch. So I'm curious on this Assassin's Creed show in general. Like, is it going to just give us the first 2-3 games? Is it going to give us just Altair? Is it going to give us Ezio? Is it going to give us a new character?
Yeah, I'm assuming if they're going to do it, if they're going to ignore the failure that the movie was, I'm assuming what they would do is what they did with the movie, where it is not a movie based off the games, but in this case a show, but a show set in the world of the games,
Right.
telling other stories about other shit that's going on in this world. But I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know Splinter Cell had a show. I'm going to have to look around that.
I don't think they do yet. Has other Ubisofts and Works, yeah.
Gotcha.
So they're doing Far Cry, they're doing Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix, and they're doing Splinter Cell.
I'm here for the
John
Splinter Cell
Wick
one.
I haven't read the Splinter Cell books yet. I've been meaning to.
I think I've read one of them. It's been a while, but I think I've read one of them.
So that's really all we have in that news. I guess the other big movie thing is next month, Black Widow. Right at the beginning of the month.
Yep. As soon as Loki's over?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Loki's got another
7
episodes, yeah?
Yeah,
No, so Loki won't even be over yet, I don't think, when it comes out.
Okay. Well, it'll be wrapping up about that time then.
Yeah, because we got another Loki on the 23rd, the 30th. Yeah, no, because I think Black Widow comes out on the 6th, so Black Widow comes out on that Tuesday, and then there'll be a Loki episode after it.
Okay.
So,
I tried.
I'm excited for Marvel being back. I'm excited for theaters being open. I'm excited to get really fat on popcorn. It'll be fun.
All right. Remember to tell a friend, tell an enemy.
Tell a friend of me.
Tell a friend of me. Tell everyone you can about this show because we are trying our hardest to make it the best show that we can for you. Remember to go to Geek Grind Coffee. Use our code GUSTH20 to save 20% off your first order over at Geek Grind, where they have Labyrinth Coffee, beautiful other flavored coffee blends, including a sampler in case you want to just try everything. That's all I've got.
And if you want to support us in a different way by supporting other people, what you can do is go with Humble Bundles. And right here on my shoulder, if you do our Humble Bundle partner, you're supporting charities and also getting games for us to do content, or allowing us to get games while also supporting charities on our end so that we can have more content on the Twitch channel.
Yes.
Justin does the Twitch streaming for the games. And I might pop in every now and then. There's no guarantees on that, though.
We're busy.
We're tired.
We're tired.
But no, that one helps out charities and us in a sense, but it's more about the charities over there.
I'm gonna take a quick peek just 2 seconds. I wonder what we got because I believe one of them ended today, so I think we're getting a new one maybe. Nope, that one's old. The UK collective, where it's games that are UK surrounded, such as The Ship, Master Reboot, Her Majesty's Spiffing. They're okay.
But there's plenty of stuff over there other than games, from books to comics to learning materials
Power Rangers
to
learning
software. There's all kinds of stuff, and you can support charities. So go ahead and go grab that.
Yep. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.